Shane Jones, are you on the phone?
Yes, your hard-working staff have tracked me down at Whangarei as I'm retiring for Moi Moi.
Well, I would have thought you would have stayed up a bit later tonight because you're returning to Parliament.
We have got a champagne breakfast, thank you very much.
Right. What happens now? Now, you've been here before. You know that both National and Labour desperately want New Zealand first because whoever gets New Zealand first becomes government, and Bill English or Jacinda Ardern both want to be elected into the position of Prime Minister, and they need New Zealand first. How does New Zealand first respond to that?
Well, obviously, Winston's got all of the experience of his many years as the leader of New Zealand First, so give the guy his dues in that regard. Secondly, like he said this evening, the colleagues need to meet. We have a slightly different caucus this time round, and there's the inevitable discussions in a collegial sense, and there is a process, although elements of the media may not attach great importance to it. There is a process to go through with the board of the party as to, not so much what the next steps are, but what is in the best interest in terms of fulfilling the large responsibility that Winston spoke about up there in Kororareka tonight.
Where's your natural home, Shane Jones? Where's New Zealand First's natural home? If we look at, Winston Peters railing in that interview with Guyan against neoliberalism. If we look at immigration, which obviously the name New Zealand First, and Winston Peters' long track record campaigning for lower immigration numbers, is there a case to be made that whilst ideologically the Greens and Labour and New Zealand First don't have terribly much in common, you can actually, as James Shaw was saying this evening, find areas on which you do agree?
Okay, well, I must confess, I haven't heard anything of James or anyone else. We've been at the Pure Bar celebrating a certain level of success. So, look, I'd be walking into a quagmire if I started commenting on what James has said. But I thought that Winston laid it on the line on the behalf of his caucus in relation to what he said before the ferry left for Paihia. Number one, this is an avowedly nationalist party in the sense it's into nation building. It's obviously, if I talk for myself, feels particularly at home in the provinces, and the provinces are screaming out for substantial capital investment, infrastructure investment. Now, we've fought an election campaign on reducing immigration, and ensuring that we train our own people. People may dismiss that, in lotus-eating suburbs in Auckland, but the reality is that we have not trained enough of our young people, and we've left them on the scrap. And when we've used the students from the dodgy Indian language schools as a form of labour, it's a depressing and medieval impact in many respects in relation to working conditions and wages. That's an inescapable fact.
Shane Jones joining us live. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time. Shane Jones, who at number 8 on the New Zealand First list is returning to Parliament. Last year, of course, as a Labour MP.